Good evening, everyone. I am Varun Prasad Gokhale, founder of Subhashish Initiative,
And I am Shlok Jagoshte, co-founder of Subhashish Initiative,
whose prime motto was to feed the needy during this COVID-19 crisis. It has almost been 1 month since the initiative was closed, but today we are here to celebrate the second month anniversary of founding of our initiative.
12 days, 12 different locations, and more than 4,500 people fed. These 4,500 people include the extremely needy people, policemen, sanitation workers, widows, gypsy families, daily wage workers, transgender community, farm cyclone affected people in the coastal areas of Odisha, and migrant laborers. At this point, I would like to thank all 51 donors who have donated to feed the needy. I would also like to thank our volunteers who spend their valuable time in order to help us feed the needy people. We would like to share our experience of doing this service on the account of a second month anniversary. Firstly, for the first 3 days of the initiative, we had handed over cooked food packets to policemen who would distribute it to the needy while on patrolling in Chennai and Kharghar. Namma Unamgav supplied us with cooked food packets for distribution in Chennai, whereas Sri Ganesh Pori Bhaji Kendra in Kharghar supplied us with food packets for distribution here. We initially started with distributing 100 packets per day, and we continued this endeavor for 12 days in total. So, because Kharghar and Chennai were very far apart, the only communication possible between myself and Varun was either through calls or through messaging or through video meetings. But when Varun first came to me with this idea, he had an entire plan in mind of how to put forth this idea, how to implement the website, how to implement the payment portal, and how to facilitate the donors and the donations. So all this, in all this, majority of credit definitely goes to him. My experience went as such. When the area I stay, there are not many slums around, and it's so easy to ignore that the problems that we don't face, that those problems don't exist at all. It is so easy to think that the only problems that exist in the world are the ones that we are facing as a person. But when you go out of your way to find people who are in need, you will find so many of them that you will be shocked that how did you go so long without even knowing that such people existed. So more than anything, this initiative opened my eyes that there are so many problems on the grassroots level that are very deeply rooted and which affect our culture and our identity as a country and as a population. So when the coronavirus first came to India, it was a very devastating situation for so many people, and as a result, we got to see what the Indian people were capable of. We got to see the struggle. We got to see the effort that people put forth to mitigate this issue, to solve this problem, to help the people who needed the help. And I think myself and Varun only did a very small part of what was a collective effort of the entire Indian population to help our brothers and sisters.
So initially, after the first 6 days of distributing 100 packets a day, we got a Facebook message from Rakshika, who is India's first transgender nurse. And she had contacted me regarding an aid for 55 people of the transgender community in the outskirts of Chennai. So as we basically see, when we are in the city, we do not face a lot of problems as we have shops nearby. We have people who can deliver support to us at any time, any point we require. But when it comes to people living at the outskirts of a city, then it becomes very tough because people have to travel 1 or 2 hours to get to the city to buy essentials if they are not being provided with essentials at the point of crisis. So it was our first mission on day 7 where we got down to work for helping people by providing them with aid consisting of grocery kits, which had 2 kg rice, half kg tur dal, half liter oil, half kg sugar and 200 gram of salt. All the safety precautions were taken during this mission. The blessings we as our initiative received from the pure heart of the needy community made us do more. She again contacted us for providing aid to gypsy families and homeless people. As you all know, gypsy families are found all over our country as they are constantly moving in search of new places and food. So on day 8, we fed around 200 people with cooked food packets consisting of sambar rice. While returning from one such locations, the children whom we fed came out and shouted thank you and goodbye. With the happiness of getting one-time meal to eat came straight from their heart, motivated us to do more and more. On day 9, 30 grocery kits were distributed to needy people in Kharghar city. So Shlok will now share his experience of his distributing these 30 kits to the needy.
On day 9, Varun had suggested that we shift from delivering cooked food packets to deliver groceries, which would have been a long time solution, but something that we couldn't facilitate at the time because the early stages of our initiative. So, distributing such a large amount of materials were proved to be challenging at first, but the policemen in my city, they came and they gave a helping hand, arranging neat lines for people to come and line up to collect their grocery packets. The operation was so smooth that we distributed so many packets very efficiently, and we even maintained the proper protocol of social distancing as well as personal protection. In this case, we would like to thank very much the people who helped us in distribution and assisted us in delivering these packets, namely the policemen and policewomen of our respective cities, who without whom we could have not done so much that we did.
So during this time, after day 9, Miss Anushri Madhavan from Indian Express Chennai interviewed us for an article in the newspaper regarding our initiative. Indeed, that was a great day and a moment of joy when we both had discussed about our initiative with her, and she came up with an article in the Indian Express. So we were quite happy that we were also like able to reach out to many more people for donation and volunteering, and also we were able to feed more and more people. After a few days, I received a call from Arumugatai ma'am, my ex-NCC officer, who had requested me to help some of her students and their communities as they were living in very remote areas. So our initiative and our group of volunteers swung into action with 100 such grocery kits. And firstly, we had distributed some kits to widows with the help of Rakshika. And then the remaining kits we distributed in the areas of the two students and their communities. It gave us immense pleasure and happiness to see the content and happiness on the faces of people who received these kits, which could fill their stomachs for at least a week. All of a sudden, after day 10, we received a call from Mr. Rohit, an RJ from Red FM 93.5 Kolkata, who had contacted us through our social media posts wanting for a telephonic interview regarding our initiative. It was a very good experience that first time someone interviewed us on a radio. So it is a first experience that when you come onto some radio show or when you get yourself featured in a newspaper. So it is indeed a very great experience. But our motto was only to help people. So 2 days later, our telephonic interview aired on Red FM 93.5 in the morning show hosted by RJ Praveen. On 22nd May, everyone of us would have heard of the Amphan cyclone, which caused severe damages to the coastal areas in Orissa as well as in West Bengal. We had contacted, then we thought that why can't we deliver aid in coastal Orissa and West Bengal. So that is when we tried to build a network of people trying to reach out to people in Orissa and Kolkata. but somehow, unfortunately, we could not distribute aid in Kolkata. But we were fortunate enough to distribute aid to people affected in coastal Orissa. So some of my one of my school teachers gave me the contact of Mr. Ajit Das, who is the founder of Citizens Committee BDA Colony and Women Trust in Orissa. On 23rd, we contacted him and discussed all the requirements for Mission Orissa. So Mission Orissa was indeed a very big mission, and we finally decided to distribute 1,250 packets of uh, cooked food to workers and the peoples affected due to the cyclone in the districts of Bhadrak and Basudevpur. After a few days, we actually saw a surge in donations that we received, and we were on a verge of closing. So I discussed with Shlok regarding the Anandvan Foundation and the Maharogi Seva Samiti in Maharashtra. So we came to a conclusion that whatever amount that we had as donation was left, we would donate it to Maharogi Seva Samiti, who have been working with leprosy patients for almost past 100 years. And they were also currently giving shelter to migrant laborers and workers who were trying to reach out to their homes. So on June 1, with the help of Maharogi Seva Samiti and Anandvan Foundation, we fed almost 400 to 500 migrant workers and the homeless people whose care was taken by Dr. Vikas Amte and his foundation. And thus the journey of our initiative came to an end.
We would personally like to thank all the donors and volunteers who helped us in achieving our dream of feeding the people at least one time a day. We would also like to thank our parents, Mr. Prasad Gokhale, Mr. Mangesh Jakushte, Mrs. Surabhi Gokhale, Mrs. Manali Jakushte, Ms. Amrita Gokhale, and our family for supporting us and providing us with all the resources we required to make this initiative a great success. Thank you.
So today, as we are celebrating the second founding anniversary of Shubhashish Initiative, here I would like to make another announcement that few days ago I had posted regarding the Vidya initiative, which is about to start from Monday on 29th June. So there is a change in programs or the classes or the hobby skills that we are going to teach. So instead of shloka recitation for the time being, we have inculcated live teachings from Bhagavad Mahapuran for ages 30 to 55. We also have a kids specific session for exclusively for kids of age 2 to 8, which includes storytelling, crafts, and all other such activities which can keep kids engaged at home. We are also trying to get on board a travel blogging YouTube channel that can post weekly videos once for senior citizens as they wish to travel to long places, but due to the pandemic we are unable to travel, so it will give them a virtual feel of traveling all over the world. So we are trying to bring them on board also. We are going to have physical training and workout sessions including yoga every day from morning 7 to 8 and in the evening from 5 to 6. So we are also conducting these workout sessions exclusively for everyone present for free of cost. So I would like to encourage all people to join as soon as possible, subscribe to our channel, and till then, Sarvadata Sukhi Bhava. So please like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel Shubhashish Initiative for further updates on Shubhashish Vidya. We will be also coming out with the weekly schedule on Saturday or most probably by Sunday, so that you all get an insight on what programs we are going to conduct the upcoming week. So that all of you can join these programs and try to enhance your hobbies and skills. So thank you. Please Please like, share and subscribe to our channel Shubhashish Initiative.